What's up, disc golfers? Matt Dollar here. We're back with round 3 back 10 at the Mountain Disc Golf Experience from 2019. Hole 11 coming in at just over 250 feet. I'm going thumber on a sidearm angle with a neutron phase. That one is mighty seasoned, but it's still bored flat and pans great for a thumber. Looks like Jake's going to be second. Comes with a forehand. Looks like an overstable mid-range. Just comes out a little bit early. Catches that tree, kicks into the shul. You know, I think I said this was an insanity last round, but, you know, I think it's a wrath. Which is another disc that I really enjoy, especially for forehands. It's a pretty good shot. It's going to be just a little bit past the pin and up to the right. We'll have a downhill look from probably circle's edge. Here's David with a standstill sidearm. We had some big swings right at the end of the front 10 video, and I find myself 2 strokes in the lead currently after being down 3 a mere 3 or 4 holes ago. Nice upshot from Dave. That'll make for an easy par. Jake's got some kind of twisting forehand Anheuser look out of the woods. Throws a beautiful little shot. Wasn't a long shot, but definitely a test. Speaking of tests, we're looking at circle 2, probably about 50 feet with a straddle. And nice putt there with the Electron Soft Envy. It's definitely one of those situations where I knew I had just gotten a few, more than a few strokes in just a few holes, and definitely wanted to capitalize and push as hard as possible once I took the lead. Noah Osborne with an amazing putt right there. And Bryson James with the nice birdie putt in there from about 25 feet. Nice little comebacker from Jake after that. Alright, moving on to hole 12. I have a 2-stroke lead on Noah and 3 strokes on Bryson and David. Hole 12, 240 feet. It's uphill, it is blind, and it's kind of a tunnel. The tunnel kind of shifts a little bit to the left at the end of the fairway. I'm going with a Tomahawk with a Plasma Insanity. And that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Just trying to get up there for a circle's edge look. Noah's going to go backhand, and it's going to turn over just a little bit too much and finish on the right side. Has a lot of little trees in between him and the basket. Might make for a tough putt. We got Bryson coming in with that forehand. Beautiful touch. I believe that's a fairway driver. Although it could be a mid-range. Bryson has good power, but he likes to throw with a lot of touch, so he's not always one of those guys who throws a slower speed disc and just throws it extra hard. Jake throws a nice little backhand. It's going to hyzer in a little bit early of what you want, but it takes a nice little counter skip, and he should be putting from inside the circle, looking at a birdie too.
Right in it.
As you can see, David threw an Evidence from Dynamic Discs. That is mid-range. I think it's straight to understable. And he really got it to pop up nice and put it past the basket, which is not really an easy task on that blind uphill tunnel. But he's found himself probably just outside the circle past the pin. He's going to throw a pretty good line, but come in just a little bit low. Just can't find the touch at this moment. But Noah sure can. It's another birdie for him. Maintain his spot in second place. And putting from just a couple feet closer than Noah is myself. Jake is closer than I thought from watching the tee shot. So this will be 4 birdies on the card here, and that is good work. Dave will tap in for par. Alright, hole 13 is a temporary hole, 565 feet downhill into a soccer or football field to a temporary basket. I'm going with the neutron phase. Hit it on an anhyzer and see it come on out. Looks like that's going to be maybe just outside the circle. Not a bad drive though, putting for birdie. Looks like Bryson's going to line up a forehand here. He's going to start it on just a tiny bit of hyzer, have it flip up into an anhyzer ride. Sails out. I believe he's going to be a little bit to the left. Looks like maybe just past pin high and probably about 70 feet to the left of the pin. Jake has the arm to potentially get here with a mid-range. I'm not sure. It looks like that's not hooking up at all. That kind of leads me to believe that maybe it was a mid-range. But he ends up pin high to the right and should be probably in circle 2 range. Noah has popped up a very nice straight-looking line, but it does fade at the end. So it's going to skip out. Probably just outside of circle 2. He's in a similar place as Bryson. And David is also going left off the tee here. He's going to end up against the fence. The Cowboy did not seem to be worried. Noah looks like he's lining up a jumper. Oh, standstill. That is a long standstill putt. But he lays it up right against the pin. I'm not sure if the pin is actually just a tiny bit elevated with this barrel or if it's just for cosmetic purposes. The pin actually seems normal height. Alright, dollar bills. Converting the birdie with that Electron Soft Envy and the cotton candy colors. Believe that will extend my lead to 3 strokes at this point. Looks like everyone else is just going to clean up for their pars right here on hole number 13. We'll move on to a very difficult hole number 14.
That's cool.
Alright, hole 14, 420 feet, but it's playing more like a par 4. It is up a hill, turns slightly left once you hit the mouth of the tunnel up there. This is a really cool looking hole from here. Just one gap in the trees and you gotta get into it. I'm gonna go with overhand thumber with that neutron phase yet again. It's gonna come out just a little bit to the right, but should give me a chance to get up and down for the 3. Oh, Bryson James plays the bank shot. Forgets to call bank, but still plays it anyway, and not sure if he ended up just past those bushes or if he's stuck in them, but definitely better than being out of bounds and on the left side of that fence. Jake threw a very nice drive there. It's going to be a little bit inside. You can see those 2 trees in the gap on the left side that kind of define the actual fairway, but the fairway does turn left once you get past those trees, so if you do cut the corner a little bit, you can get away with it if you don't hit any trees. Looks like Noah did hit one of those trees on the right side of the fairway, and he's going to kick over into that left side. The crowd loved that shot from David because it was absolutely pure. What a line drive right up the middle. Speaking of line drive up the middle, Bryson James with the incredible forehand through the small gap up the hill to part. That is going to be an easy birdie 3 for Bryson. Try and maintain his share of second place here. And right there, Noah Osborne is going to throw another contender for amazing upshot from not a great position and down a big hill to do it. So looks like I'm stuck on the right side going thumber with my flippiest disc, which is that insanity. It's going to strike the tree about 10 feet from the pin and probably settle up inside 20. Definitely pleased with the result there. Looks like Jake did get away with it off the tee, got over to the left, but he's not going to get as lucky on the second shot. And David celebrates his amazing drive with a very easy putter up the middle for a tap-in birdie. We got Jake from circle 2 and putting uphill. It is hard to get that putt high enough when you're putting that far uphill. Also sounds like we have an emergency in the background. That is an amazing up and down to save birdie from the left side for Noah. Right now, this video seems to feature a whole lot of Bryson, Dollar, Noah grabbing some birdies up. Glad I didn't jinx Bryson. Nice birdie. And a nice birdie from David as well. He threw the best drive of the group. Alright, hole 15 here at the hybrid layout at Sandhills. Believe this is a combo hole that is 2 other holes put together. Went with Electron Vector there, threw a pretty good shot. Takes a little bit of an unfortunate roll to the right, but should be okay. Basically, you're just going to take this fairway until it ends, and then there's another basket way down there. It's It's a par 3, but it's very, very hard to get to. I would be willing to wager that it scores more like a par 4 when you look at the stats. Noah threw it. I mean, that was going to be a dead straight drive. It was just a tiny bit left offline. The gap you're trying to hit is, you know, it's not the tiniest gap ever, but it's kind of a weird angle, and you're trying to hit it from 200 feet away. So it definitely becomes way more difficult from that range. Oh, Jake is throwing to Jim. Gets all of the height possible in that really low ceiling, and gets up there. Not sure how close that is, but definitely better than I've ever been. Forehand roller from David. I played a tournament earlier in the 2019 season with David in the pouring rain at Lula, and I could tell that this guy was crafty. Because when you're playing Lula in the pouring rain, you're going to be off the fairway a lot. And up and down a lot of crazy hills with lots of trees. And David was pulling out all the shots. Definitely a crafty player. Wow, speaking of crafty, that was some crazy shot from Noah. I think it was a roller. But he's going to end up probably just outside circle 1 and inside circle 2 with a putt there. So we're calling this a par 3, but man, it's a tough one.
Going for it, damn.
Oh man. Every now and again, you try to lay one up and something magical happens. It didn't happen that time, but it definitely made me feel like it might. We got a fast green here. It definitely slopes downhill and to the left. Or to the right, rather. Once you get past the pin. So if you come in on a righty backhand hyzer putt, you could hit on an angle and pop up and roll down that hill. So that's why Bryson was laying up. It's not a bad move to lay up from outside, 40 feet here. See what Noah decides to do. He looks like he's in that 40-something foot region as well. He gives it a pretty good bid. Not quite gonna roll away and not quite parked, but he should be able to make that. I'm able to save the par there, which is a good par on this one. Bryson knocks his in no problem, and now Noah has a little bit of work left on this uphill putt. Very nice putt from Noah. Good focus there. And nice tap in. Easy 3 for Jake. Alright, moving on to hole number 16. 185 feet downhill island hole. You have to hit a little tunnel off the tee shot. Get over this little, not really a fence, but a wire or something and a post. Then you need to stop on a dime. As you can see from the tee, from right here behind the tee, it looks like that sign behind the pin is defining the out of bounds, but in fact it is not. There's about a foot and a half between the OB line and that wall, so anything that slides 15 feet past the pin is out of bounds. So far, so good on this group, though. Everyone is displaying very nice touch. That one's gonna be out of bounds, and you will go to a drop zone. If you can see those white flags on the left side of the screen when we're looking at Conrad's catch cam. Ace run alert. Woo! Great looking shot from Noah. A little bit higher would have went in. A little right or left, it would have went OB. Oh, I thought I was in bounds, but I guess I was out of bounds as well. I did hit that post coming onto the green that kind of defines it. That is a solid way to make a stand there and save that par on this 185-foot gimmick hole. There's a few gimmick holes in this layout we're playing at Sandhill. This is definitely my least favorite of the gimmick holes, I do believe. You know, a lot of people say 185 feet though. Shouldn't be that hard, just throw it down there. Hard to complain with that. As these guys tap in some birdies. Moving on to hole number 17, the biggest hole on the course, par 5, almost 1,200 feet. You're throwing a little bit downhill off the tee, and then a little bit downhill later on the hole as well. But you're teeing off from out of bounds. Alright, all the little islands in the middle of the parking lot are inbounds. There's a bunch of grass islands and stuff. So it's only concrete that's out of bounds on this tee shot. Everything else is fair game. Oh, Jake has opened up a nice one, but it looks like it might be too stable. Oh, it's pretty good if there was not a big manhole right there. It's kind of an unfortunate break. Noah's going to start on a little bit of hyzer. Got some flexing going on. Going to ride the parking lot and take a really unfortunate bounce off the one of those little islands. Going big flex shot with a fission photon. Just playing it safe over in the middle. Looks like David's going to aim over to the left and not try to take any shortcuts here. And he is throwing a beautiful shot. Oh, he gets worked down by that tree, but it does manage to stay in bounds. So now we got a little bit of trickiness here. You're trying to just get it over this big fence. There's a net attached to the fence as well. So you can go to the left of all that and try and get up onto this field, or you can just go over it. Either way, the pin is down on the left side under that tree line, but it is way down there. If you guys watched the round 2 video, we saw Brett Stetson from the short tee and hyzer one over the right side of the football field fence and then throw from a pretty bad lie right up against the fence and the woods. Throw a big lefty and hyzer roller over the top of the fence and the net. It was pretty incredible. If you haven't seen that, I'd run back to round 2 coverage and check that out. Jake's not going to get a full flight out of that one, but he is going to get it up into the middle of the soccer field, which will definitely put him in position to be able to throw a big hyzer down to the pin. Looks like I may have went with actually a dimension. I think I threw the neutron dimension on the tee shot as well. Same color as my fission photon. But I believe those were both dimension shots. And this is going to be a plasma mayhem. Got great distance on it, but just hung it out a little bit too far right. Looks like I'll probably have to pitch up and settle for a par. It is an elevated basket, and while putting downhill at it, you definitely don't want to blow by and leave yourself a big comebacker. David has thrown a beautiful third shot. Looks like he's going to be inside the circle, putting for birdie. Here's Jake's third shot, also able to just kind of put a hyzer move on it, and he does catch that big skip. It's going to come in a little bit short, but I bet he'll be probably just outside the circle looking for his 4. So I believe Noah went OB off the tee, so he threw his second, or rather third shot to there. That was his 4th shot. Believe he's putting to save par. That would be incredible. He must be putting to save bogey, actually. This is 1,200 feet. Bryson James with an incredible shot. I believe that'll have him putting for his birdie. About 100 feet downhill here, really just trying to put it close. Looks like actually I was being kind of aggressive, but watching it right now, I want to just put it close, but looks like I was kind of going for that one. Big downhill scary circle 2-putt for Noah here. Oh, and he answered the question for us. That is indeed a par. Incredible par from Noah. Jay's going to let that one get away from him. David actually went past the pin and to the left of it. He must have got a crazy skip once he landed down there. But he's still putting for birdie here. And able to convert that birdie. This is a tough hole. Usually par 5s are pretty soft. But there's just a lot of danger on the tee shot. And then you have a weird scenario in trying to get over that net on your second shot. Then you have to change levels down to this little ravine on your third shot. And then you have an elevated pin for your putt. So you have to complete a big checklist to get a birdie on this hole. Par for myself, and Bryson looks like, I believe, dropping in for the bird. Alright, hole 18 out of 20. We're playing 20 holes, but this is an island hole, and there's actually 3 little islands. It's only 277 feet. You're probably going to see everybody on this card just go for the pin, which is on the 3rd island. Bryson does it perfectly. So you have just a little bit less than the circle, or maybe the last island is basically the circle, which is 33 feet from the pin. It's probably just a little bit smaller than that. And if you do not land on, or if you do not land in bounds on your tee shot, then you only progress to the 1st island. And then if you don't land in bounds with that shot, you progress to the next island. Meanwhile, you keep incurring penalty strokes, so this is definitely a hole that you want to just go ahead and park right away, get your 2, and don't let a 5-stroke swing happen after you 10 cup it. These are just thoughts that are going through my head before I tee off with a 2-stroke lead on this hole. After watching Bryson, who's in second, put it right up there near the pin. Nice shot from Noah. Checks up nicely. I believe I'm also going to play the forehand here. Looks like I got that neutron phase yet again. Looks like a pretty nice shot. Comes in, checks up nicely. Gonna be right there about 15 feet from the pin. Should be an easy birdie. Here's Jake from the first drop zone. He's gonna putt it easily up next to the pin, save his bogey and get out of town. David's gonna drop a birdie putt from just inside the island. Call that a 25-footer. Speaking of 25-footers, that's about what Noah has right here. It's just going to come in a tiny bit low. A little bit higher or a little bit further right, and that one probably goes in. Bryson's going to be inside 20 feet, probably about 15. Easy cleanup for the kid. Alright, looks like I may be further out. I think Bryson was out of turn there. Stroke the young man. No strokes when you got smiles on your faces from birdies on a scary little island hole. And Noah gets the par and Jake with the bogey. We'll move on to hole 19. Alright, moving into hole 19. It's a 2-stroke battle. Myself, Matt Dollar, in the lead with Bryson James 2 behind me. And he's got a few strokes on third place, which currently is David and Noah tied, I believe. So hole 19, it turns hard to the right. Hard to get back far enough to the right without going too far. Yep, that's going to be what a lot of the shots do. You're just going to go too far. I mean, it's just a really weird angle. And if you try to throw something that just cuts off this corner to the right, you could potentially go out of bounds on the other side of this fence that has a net on top of it. So, I mean, it's not a hole that a lot of people are going to birdie at 440 feet and a ridiculous angle. So if you just play something smart and safe, keep it in the middle, don't go too far out of the way, you should be able to get an easy par. I could not get my plasma insanity to flip right there. You can hear there's a little bit of wind, and kept it up in the air too long, and it kind of pushed the bottom out. But that's okay. Should have a wide open up shot in that field. Noah's going to go with the forehand, which seems like a smart approach here, but to park it, you really have to go up and over this little corner. And that is not something that you want to risk in a tournament. So he's just going to play it dead straight away and just try to get an easy par. I got to imagine in the open division the scores are really, really flat on this hole. Just a ton of pars. I'd imagine there's probably a couple bogeys around and probably 1 or 2 birdies around as well, but this one's going to be mostly pars. Great little field work shot from Dave. Looks like I'm going with my Neutron Soft Envy. Also another little field work shot. All hyzer maneuver there from Noah. Puts it right up near the barrel. Bryson wearing the towel on his head is going to throw it just past the pin, but should be an easy par. If you guys don't know about the urban skins coming up after this video, you're in for a treat. The top 4 finishers in the professional divisions at this event will play in the urban skins through downtown Asheville. And it's one of the craziest and coolest experiences in all of disc golf. And this year, there's even one of the holes throwing off the biggest parking deck in downtown Asheville, which is a pretty cool little treat. So definitely check back in for those urban skins videos from Ace Run Productions. Par Fest over here on hole 19. Alright, hole 20, last hole of the actual PDGA event before we do the amazing urban skins. And it's just 300 feet in a field. Well, at least the first 280 feet are in a field. And you have to go out the walkway of the field. And right there in front of a playground and a fence is where you'll find the basket.
Some aspirin after that.
It's a very weird hole.
I'll be alright, I'll walk it.
As you can see, there is netting on top of that fence, so it's hard to go straight over, although I did throw a thumber over the net in one of the rounds and go out of bounds deep over that fence. It's just a weird little hole, but really all you need to do is just start right up to the mouth. That's what I'm going for this time. Just try to get it to the mouth. I go with that neutron phase and get a big skip, trying to skip it through the mouth, and it's going to plug up right there at the edge of the fence in the entranceway. Should give me a straddle putt for the birdie from inside the circle. Noah throws a nice little hyzer shot that's going to put it right in the middle of the gap, give him an easy putt. This is a weird little hole, but you know the big thing is just trying to give yourself a putt. You could throw it and be inside the circle, but blocked by the fence and not have a putt. So you really have to be careful about going too far right or too far left. See, that's going to be... He'll probably have a putt from there, but any further left and you're looking at like a forced sidearm. David has a driver in his hands. Looks like he's playing overstable driver skip shot. It's going to be tough to get it back through the hole. Same for Bryson. He might have a little bit of trouble getting through the hole here. He's going to have to poke one through the left side. Oh, he takes a bank shot off the wood. Nice work from Bryson. Way to play the bank, play the wood. Should be a tap-in par and get out of town with a second place finish in a solid pro field. Alright, Jake does have an open look. Just going to need to putt something dead straighter with a little bit of hyzer. I'm going to tickle some left side chains, but have a little bit of work on the comeback. But should be able to get the par, no problem. Great putt from Noah. Believe Noah's going to finish in third place and find himself in the urban skins. Believe that's going to be an 11 down for the round out of 20 holes here in round 3. Going to be good for either a 3-stroke lead actually, or a 3-stroke win. Once again, I must remind you, check back in for the urban skins videos. Those are going to be awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Mdge, Ace Run Productions.
It's recording now.
Just turn
There you go.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah, baby!